Hello viewers, our team has carefully selected these messages for your edification and transformation. Watch and stay blessed.
Lagos came to the airport before them that came from wherever they came from. Waited for 30 minutes, they came out. I didn't say anything. They took me, and it is the northern aspect, the northern part of Nigeria. Like right now, the temperature of today in Sokoto, Gombe was 47 degrees Celsius. I mean, the kind of heat that you can't stay in this place, you run out. The ESCO members refused to put me in the hotel. They went and begged a certain brother to open up his boys' quarters, and that was where they put me. And there was the heat there mingled with mosquito. Because I'm a missionary, I didn't say anything. I preached, I ministered. And then, because you must separate yourself from God's work. Do God's work. Alright? When I finished doing God's work, I now said, okay, I'm in a hurry. I need to be at the airport 1 or 2 hours before the time so that I'll not miss the flight. That's the only flight that comes to Sokoto. So the ESCO members now came that I should bless them. And I said, they have already received their reward. Me, I have done my own work for the Lord. Do you understand? I've done my own work for the Lord. Because the Lord said I should go, I put 100,000 on the line. That was my own commitment. And I didn't do that for them. I did that for the Lord. But when I got there, I saw that the people that invited me did not honor me. That won't stop me from going on the Lord's errand. Do you understand what I'm talking about? So I had to go on the Lord's errand. Finish the Lord's errand. Then they now realize that I actually have a blessing. And they want a blessing from me. Me that they did not honor. And I say, it's very unfortunate. And I have no blessing to give them. Because if I should do something like blessing, it will be a curse. Then I told them why. Do you know? I left. Years later, because it's like 5 years now, all those people couldn't get employment till now. All those people. So they now checked in the spirit and said, hey, that will cause a problem. They now called us and said, our life, since that time, we have been wallowing. You know why? Just because they did not honor a human being. Think of not honoring God. So when they called and said, we noticed that we have been in this condition. And we prayed, and then it was as if God was saying, we did something wrong. I said, you didn't finish that prayer. You would have asked for wisdom. Because the thing you did, it was God that said you did something wrong. It was not me. So you need wisdom to find out how to unlock that matter. Me, I've moved on. But an occasion of lack of honor, God decided to remember it. From that day, God said, this is your last meeting that you will do with these people. That's why I stopped NCCF state conferences. When I reached Lagos, I was excited that souls were impacted and all of that. And in the worship, God said, you won't go there again. So if it's NCCF now, I can attend national conference, I will never attend any state conference. Even if it's in this town. Because I am in the service of God. Do you understand that? Don't ever miss the fact that it's God that sent you. People can offend you. Do God's own. Don't mix God's work with your own issue. But every situation of lack. Meanwhile, when I finished, Okay, do I need to tell you this one? When they reach the airport, they say, there's no much money. I say, I already have my return ticket. So, I didn't come here because I was coming to. My wife knows. I pay my way to and fro. Those days I was doing 1.8 million for flights every year. 1.750, 1.8 million. Because any invitation that I accept, I know it is God that is sending me. So I pay my way. So whether or not you give me prophet offering is not my business. In fact, if I go there and see that you are a fake person and God did not show me before I came, I will just take my bag. You won't see me the next morning. Oh, that's why I don't allow you pay for me, so that I can leave. Because I'm in the Lord's service. I'm not in your employment. I'm in the Lord's service. I came for your invitation because the great one says. And if I press and I don't pick anything and I decide to come and I see that you are fake, in the morning when you come with breakfast, I had gone. Because I'm there for the Lord. When God sees that you honor Him like that, He will do things to you. The ministry of giving, we can't finish it today. Let's leave it. Let's leave it till tomorrow. Let's leave it till tomorrow. We wanted to do a crusade. First of all, if you don't know honor, you can't give. God wants you to learn honor. That's the reason for tithing. When you have learned honor and it's part of your heart, you know it is your duty from your heart, then God begins to give you instructions, financial instructions. Financial instruction. We wanted to do a crusade and we invited a man of God. And when we invited the man of God, and the posters came out, it was everywhere on Facebook. Another man of God in that city now called me and said to me, this preacher you have invited is a genuine man of God. And there is something I can tell you about him. While you receive him, make sure you honor him very well. Let him touch his heart. And if he prays for you from his heart, God will honor it. I say thank you for this information. So we went around the city. We got him the best accommodation in the whole city as at that time. Got police escort to make sure that the way was cleared anytime we got the kind of food. We got food. Before he came, we got his footwears, toothbrush, toothpaste, everything. We got a self-help kit. And it was there, towel, all kinds of stuff, so that he would not ask for anything. And we come to pick him up in a very long convoy. All we were doing was honoring him. First day. Second day. Third day. Then you now ask God, what does this boy want? Because we didn't take offerings in that meeting. The only offering we took was giving the congregation an opportunity to sow into his life. We didn't take offering. Thousands of people were coming. We didn't take any offering. In my own opinion, then, workers in the state were being owed salaries for 9 months, 8 months. I didn't feel it in my heart that it was justified to come take offerings in that crusade when they have not been paid. I know they have not been paid for 9 months. So we didn't take any offerings. We identified with the situation of the workers of the land. The only offering we took in the crusade was to allow people to give the man of God so that they'll be blessed. When we calculated what the people gave, it was not even much. That whole crowd. Okay. The whole crowd. And it was a very huge crowd. You know the crowd. What came from that offering was not so much. It was still what we added from the ministry that now made this substantial. On the 4th day of the crusade, this man of God now comes to the altar. I said, come. God spoke to me that I should release something to you. The ability to work miracles. Meanwhile, I used to pray for people, they used to get healed, and he prayed for me. I don't fall under the power, but I fell that day. Not because I didn't want to. I held myself. But it was real, it was genuine. It was very genuine. The energy that flowed there, you couldn't remain. And I was dizzy on the ground. When I stood up, left, early in the morning we were with him, gave him all the gifts. People brought stuff. Then I went for the first meeting after that crusade. And when I went for that first meeting, they brought a man they shot the man. They put a gun in his ear. Armed robbers put a gun in his ear and shot him. And the bullet came out of this place. And that was how he lost hearing in his left ear. And the man came to the crusade. And while I was preparing for the meeting, Jesus came and spoke to me. And he said, I will heal a deaf man. That was not spectacular because I've been seeing deaf people healed before. But I said, thank you, Jesus. And I came for the crusade and preached. And while I was still preaching, Jesus spoke into my ears again and said, remember, a deaf man. And that man is here. I led people to Christ, gave the altar call. The counselors were talking. I asked the counselors to stop that, and I prayed for the sick. And God replaced everything that was damaged in that ear. He replaced it. That was the day when creative miracles started in my ministry. Went somewhere in the south to preach. Somebody's kidney was damaged, and I prayed for him. He went back to the hospital, and they saw that he had a new kidney. They were trying to put him on dialysis, and they tested he had a new kidney. I went to Kano to preach, and the guy that was playing the keyboard, he was not as skilled as most of our guys, but I needed sound to enter into the spirit. He was playing rubbish, but at least he was playing. After the meeting, our Kano pastor brought him and said he was a sickler. And I laid hands on him, and I prayed for him. And he went back for a test, and the test was taking hours to come out because he had a doctor that was managing him. He became AS. So the doctor he tested his reagents. You know, in chemistry, first of all, you test the integrity of the reagents. He did that. And then tested again. It was AS. No, he brought a new set of reagents. He tested it. And God became angry and made the man AA. The keyboard man, his genotype changed from SS to AA. I remember, still in Kano. There was no flight going to my city, so I now took a flight to Kano so that I could complete the thing on road. And when our pastor picked me up from the airport, he drove me straight to BUK, that there was crusade. I said, I came to sleep in your house, so move the next day. This part of the sleep. And while I was preaching, they brought a lady, and her legs were dry on wheelchair. And so that I will not claim that I didn't see her, they put her here like this. Do you know what? These guys were in the rain. The rain was falling. Heavy rain. And there was a massive crowd in the rain. And the power of God broke out on that field. Me too. It was only where I was staying that they put one covering, so I was the only one that was not in the rain. I couldn't take it, so me too, I had to stand in the rain. I prayed for this crippled lady, and in my spirit, the way I feel when people get healed, I felt that. So I said, you are healed. There was nothing that happened. And I left. On the 7th day after that crusade, the lady woke up from her bed. That is, she didn't know, and she just started walking. It was when she had taken a few steps that she now realized those dry legs began to walk. There were many ministers there that day. I prayed and left. And then continued my journey the next day. 7 days later, her legs began. I've seen people walk before, but not dry legs. A new dimension of ministry opened. Why? Because I honor the man and God acknowledged it. Don't think if you don't have a heart for honor for our God, that God will make you anything. Giving is critical. Very critical. You want to go high? It's honor. It's honor. It's honor. Have you seen that the scripture says, honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruit of all thine increase? So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy prosperity shall burst forth with new wine. It shall burst forth. There's power in honoring God. Even your children, He will never allow them to be fugitives. Your children will be safeguarded. We seek men of sufficient stature that will move the hand of God to have mercy on a lineage, to have mercy on a generation. It starts by honor.